In the world's loudest game, there exists the quietest hero. A humble smile never leaves his face. He doesn't score the flashy goals. He doesn't seek the spotlight. He doesn't give boastful interviews. He simply does his job and changes the world. This is the story of N'Golo Kanté, a man who covered every blade of grass on the pitch, but never forgot the ground he came from. His childhood wasn't spent on pristine green pitches, but on the tough streets of suburban Paris. Born into a family of Malian immigrants, young N'Golo's destiny seemed pre-written. As a boy, he helped his father by collecting garbage and scrap from the streets, pulling a cart to support his family. While other children played with footballs, he worked. But even in those difficult days, there was a spark inside him. When he started playing football, everyone told him the same thing. You are too small. You are too weak. The doors of big academies slammed shut in his face, one by one. They saw him as physically fragile, but they couldn't measure the size of his heart. With every rejection, he didn't surrender. Instead, he worked harder. When others grew tired and stopped, Kante kept running. It was as if there weren't one, but two of him on the pitch. And finally, the world began to notice. Arriving in England from the lower leagues of France, he became the protagonist of one of the greatest fairy tales in football history. He was the invisible engine, the heart of Leicester City. When this small team achieved the impossible and became champions of England, the world asked one question: who is this tireless man who appears to be everywhere at once? Soon, he moved to one of the world's biggest clubs, won the Champions League, and finally, in 2018, he became a world champion with France. The world was at his feet, but it was in that moment of ultimate victory that his true character was revealed. As his teammates celebrated, passing around the World Cup trophy, Kante stood shyly on the sidelines. He was one of the main architects of their victory, yet he was too humble to even ask to hold the trophy. When his teammates finally forced it into his hands, that gentle, sincere smile captured the hearts of the world. The world asks, how can a world champion, a millionaire, be so simple? How can a man achieve so much, yet show not a single trace of arrogance? The answer is hidden in his heart, in his faith. He could afford the most expensive cars, but for years he drove his old, small Mini. When he became a champion with Leicester, he was gifted a brand new BMW, but he declined the luxury car and gave it straight to charity. He never even thought about replacing his phone with its cracked screen. The key to this character, the source of this humility, was his faith. His religion, Islam, had taught him so. It taught him to avoid arrogance, to resist wastefulness, to always be grateful for his blessings, and most importantly, that no matter how high you rise, your feet must always remain firmly on the ground. And that is why the story of N'Golo Kanté isn't just about a footballer who rose from poverty to the pinnacle. It's a story about never giving up. But more than that, it is the greatest lesson on how to win the world, yet remain true to your faith and keep your humanity intact.